I'm sending the ref in now. Jack. We're on, guys. Welcome everybody to the first coverage of season 2026 of the Pepsi CRU competition. We have both teams entering the field now. Got the MONI plus Nova up against THEODIST MBB Marlins. Should be a really good match. Marlins coming off a strong win over the University Piggies last week and looking to consolidate their place in the second spot on the Premier ladder. We've got Nova as well, fighting for the first win of the season. They've so far had two close losses, so it should be a really good game today. Both sides boasting rep players and young players that have come through the ranks. Local products. We've got Derek Akis as a referee, so we should be expecting a free-flowing game. There have been a few player movements as well between both clubs. Not so much between both clubs, but from other clubs moving across to both respective clubs. And that goes to show what both clubs have achieved over the past couple of years. So we kick off. We've officially kicked off. We've got Nova running from left to right, and there's a break made there by Willie Kalai. Good challenge by Michael Carroll. Well done. Good challenge, Michael Carroll. There's a quick tap there. Referee's called it back. Good scramble by Nova to get back into the defensive positions. There's a kick down deep into the Nova territory, finding touch right about the 30-meter mark. It'll be interesting to see how they counter their respective lineouts as well. You can already see by now from the far shot that MBB Marlins have opted for the shotman lineout. Nova's reacted accordingly. Lineout set, good tunnel, ball's out. And we have Michael Carroll with the ball. We're expecting Michael Carroll to lead the team around the park. He's done well to consolidate himself as one of the premier 10s. And we can see that MBB Marlins have chosen to go wide. They've got a pretty good face play as well. Their pullbacks and second face is pretty good. You can see Michael just leading the team around the park. It's going to come down to who. For me, it's going to come down, if Nova were to win this game, it's going to come down to how they scramble, and especially taking that space before sliding in defense. Because you've got some pretty strong ball runners like Epe there, who's been almost bundled out into the side. Our referee's played an advantage here. He's called, there was a seat belt there, high tackle. It'll be interesting to see how MBB Marlins set their pods up here. They've got pods on either side. They're going with the 1-3-3-1 structure. So they're hitting the left-hand side, right-hand side defense of Nova, their left-hand side. You can see their pod set up as well. Bruce Kilalang, the skipper. There's been a knock-on. So the referee's called up the scrum. Both sides have some really good back rowers, so this first scrum's going to set the tone. As is always the case, it's the first five scrums of any match on either side of the half that sets the tone. They got strong ball runners up the midfield. Let's see where Nova take this. And we have our first scrum underway. And there's a short arm called, sorry, long arm called by the referee. Oh, he's called a knock on. It's a scrum. So pretty good scrummaging by both sides. You can see they've been working on the scrummaging. Nova had to pretty much pack up against good scrummaging against Valley Hunters last week. It's good to see they've learned the lesson. The question now is if they do keep it up the whole game and be consistent right throughout. Referee having a chat with both hookers on their break foot and the mark. Michael Carroll's got his backline pretty much set. And this MBB Marlins backline has compressed and gone really deep. So expect a pullback from Michael Carroll. He might hit second receiver at the back. The MBB Marlins are known for their second phase play. Referees allowed that to play on. You got Junior Ray with the ball. He's up against his former team. He's moved back from MBB Marlins. Simon Sobo has knocked that ball on. We've got an emergency here. There's been a few concerns as well with player safety. And here at CRU, one of the most important aspects of the game is player safety. So as I stated earlier, there's been some player movements. You can see Nicky Oro there at number 9 for MBB Marlins. He's moved across from the University Piggies. There's Epe as well. So MBB Marlins are building on their stock. They've got some pretty good young players that have come through the ranks as well. And experienced hands with Hans, Bruce and the boys leading the way. Over on the Nova side, you got Randall and Steven Yawave, who's come back from his pilgrimage with Valley Hunters. Both teams have gone into the huddles to discuss on how best they can optimize their opportunities. They're coached by pretty good coaches as well. So Nova's head coach is Mr. Cecil Davani, and MBB Marlins head coach is Rawali Bokwik, sorry. It's been a long 3 weeks for the season so far. There were a few challenges faced, as is always the case, especially with rugby league vying for the venue. But CRU have passed on the thank you note to the PNG National Sports Trust Limited and the VMT crew for giving first preference to CRU and locking in the season. It's going to be a pretty long season, so it's going to come down to player management as well for both teams. A scrum has been called here, so it was loose hand, it is loose hand and feed to MBB Marlins. Referee Derek had played advantage. Good second scrum, good second scrum. Yeah, backline has to hold the line. Backline has to hold the line in defense. And that's the call. The call from the referees. Derek's been consistent over the past 2 weeks as well. He's come back to lend a hand with the CRU officiating. We've got our line out set. Our line out set. Nova choosing to clear. It's a touch ball. Everyone's on side now. Hard chase by Toram Dampen. And Nicky Ora takes the space. There's an intercept again. This time by Nova. Let's see how they take it from here. Good challenge. Very good challenge. Although he lost his footing. So as stated earlier, Michael Carros stamped his mark in the CRU Premier Division. He's a really, really good, solid defender, and his pilfering and jackal skills have improved over the past couple of years. There's a clearance now clearance kick by Jared Maniana, just outside the 22. It would be good to see how they play their hand here, whether they go straight up the middle or they attack the sides. As stated earlier, both sides are known for going up the middle, and you can see the variation this year coming through when they've decided to go with the pullbacks and push the ball wide. So Nova's won the line out. There's a good challenge. Junior Ray takes the ball straight up. They'll need quick recycle here, and they get it. We've got play deep in the 22 now. They're getting into the 5-meter zone. Nova have chosen to spread it wide. They've chosen to go lateral. And as stated a couple of minutes ago, both sides love to go direct, but they've shown the variety this year by sticking with going up the middle, whilst at the same time exploring opportunities on the side. There's been a knock-on call here. Oh, offside, sorry. Offside called by the assistant referee. Let's see what Nova have to offer here and their options. Whether they go for the line out. They're setting up the pods, so they're going for a tap. You're allowed to go for a tap, whether it's a long arm or short arm. They've got quick ball that's come out. And a good run by the prop forward there, Mr. Steven Yaweve. They've shifted it to the 10. And the ball's with Junior Ray now. Nova chancing the hand here. They're chancing the hand here. The referee's called it up. He's called a penalty. As they say in rugby, it's he who sticks to the game plan the longest wins the game. So you can see now that Nova's decided with ball retention to win this game. They've got the pod set on either side with the 10 sitting in pocket. There might be a tip on here, and yes, there's a tip on. In the second phase, there's a challenge, there's a successful challenge, and quick tap. The call there by the referee was a jackal and a challenge. Referee said knockback, play on. So they've lost the advantage, and it's a scrum to Nova. So you're seeing some really good continuity here from the referee. He's allowed the play to go on. There's some good discipline early on in the game, although it's just 12 minutes. As we mentioned earlier, consistency with all of this is key to both teams exploiting their opportunities. It's a loose head and feed to Nova, MONI plus Nova. And if I'm correct, this is the third scrum. So it's really important how they control the set pieces. There's a long arm there. Referee's call is it's due to a long arm bind. So part of the rules here and part of player safety, and to ensure there's no pulling down, as per the referee's call here, an interpretation is that there has to be a long bind from both linesmen. Where Todam Dempen bringing the ball back, Willie passes on to Willie Kalai. They're going to have to settle the ball at some point. There's a good run there by the winger. Very, very good contact by Bruce Kilalang, the skipper for MBB Marlins. He's a mobile forward who gets around a lot. And as stated earlier, the fight around the ruck's going to be paramount to who wins this game. Decisive run there as well into space by Steven Yawave. Good challenges. So Nova choosing to go up the middle here. You can see there's a good challenge there. Good challenge there by Hans. Hans too has come through the ranks for MBB Marlins. Referee's called an offside play here. Both teams are playing the same style of rugby. They love their rugby fast. At some point, one of them is going to have to decide who's going to settle down. So Michael Caro now finds the line just past the 10 meters. So with rugby league, you'd say the 40-meter mark. With rugby, it's a 10-meter mark. 10 meters just after the 50-meter mark. Referee Derek's setting the tone there with a clear tunnel. Marlins opting for the shotman line out. Let's see if they're going to hit one or two. They're opting for two. Referee's given a long arm. It's a tunnel as well as not straight. So Nova's decided to settle it down. Nova running left to right against the wind. That would be the most sensible thing to do. Both teams just slowing it down. It's about the 15-minute mark. Lactic acid would be kicking in. The guys would just have to stick it out and see how it pans out in the next 5 minutes when adrenaline kicks in. That's when we should expect to see some free-flowing rugby. Yeah, line out not straight. Referees called it with the assistance from the AR. It's a scrum, loose head and feet to MBB Marlins. It can get scrappy. It can get scrappy, as is expected with contact spot in this kind of humidity and the weather. The sun's unforgiving. Humidity level's pretty high, and it has been for the past 3 weeks. To you viewers out there, if you heading down to the market or going out for a day out, ensure to stay hydrated with Pacific Industries pure water. So the ball's come out of the scrum, and they've decided to spread it wide. You can see they're exploiting the options out wide now. So it was a forward pass. So execution, as I stated earlier, it's going to come down to execution of set pieces. That was a set piece. It was the last pass from your outside center there. This is when fatigue is expected to kick in. Legs are burning. Body's telling you to shut down. Brain's telling you to push on, just so the adrenaline kicks in. Some of the boys backed up. Some of the boys for MBB Marlins backed up as well. You can see them on the bench. Nova as well. They've had a break. They've had the opportunity. With the calendar this year, CRU have decided to split the calendar as well, and have split teams due to the number of teams in A grade and the lower grades. Premier, you've got 9 teams. A grade, you've got A grade and the lower grades for the men's division, you've got 11 teams. And the calendar has been aligned. You've got Michael Caro, he's kicking for space and opting for the 50-22. And that's gone 50-22. So, yep, advantage is now with MBB Marlins. And CRU have adapted the rule that's been instigated by IRB a couple of years back. So if you kick behind the 50 and it gets, if it lands outside the 22, bounces in the 22 and hits touch, the advantage and the throw-in will be the team that's kicking. So that's a really good option. Michael Caro is someone that stamped his mark in this game, and he's got an array of weapons that he uses. He's now standing at second receiver, second 5, and they've opted to go out wide. Nova has compressed the defensive line as well. They've taken the space really well and slid. Used the sideline as the teammate, and they've pushed them over the sideline. We're almost at the 20-minute mark. You can see the game starting to pick up, as is expected when adrenaline kicks in. There was a HIA protocol, and referee has ordered the player back out. We'll wait to see if he does get back on the field, although his time's pretty limited. And the sub will have to be called, as you can see, with the sideline handing over the substitution card. There's a 15-minute protocol for HIA as well. So the player that got concussed earlier hasn't been passed by our medics. And thank you to St. John Ambulance and Emergency Services. They've been with CRU for the past 5 years, even more than that. They're a great supporter to the code as a whole. And as you can see in the fifth scrum of the game, Nova have lost control. There's a pretty good drive, concerted effort from the 8-man pack by the MBB Marlins to drive Nova back and get the advantage. They've opted to go wide and spread it wide. You can see there's numbers now. Nova have done well to take this space and slide. There's a penalty there. Careless high tackle. You'd wonder when the referee is going to start pulling that yellow card out. There's been a couple of sit belts there. Tackle technique has been an issue as well, as you can see throughout the matches here. And our coaches have been working diligently with the teams to ensure that we get our technique right. There's been a knock-on straight from the tap. Very unlike skipper Bruce Kilalang. Now it'll be interesting to see what Nova does with the ball now, given there's a lot of real estate here past the 50 for MBB Marlins. Safe to say they're going to be kicking. You can see the wingers drop deep their back line. It's a better scrum from Nova. They'll just have to get the ball out, and they don't get it out in time. As per the referee's interpretation, they've gone past the mark. Had Nova pulled that ball out of the scrum faster, they'd have the advantage. Quick play the ball from MBB Marlins here. They're on the front foot. There's an advantage being played by the referee as well. Michael Caro taking his chances. And they've gone straight up the middle with Nicky Ora. Good scrambling defense there by Nova. Advantage being played. Advantage off now. And the referees allowed Michael Caro to do a quick tap. And first try of the match goes to MBB Marlins. Shortly after the 20-minute mark. Adrenaline's kicked in. So there's a quick tap there. They've exploited the distorted defensive line of MONI plus Nova. And they've scored through Epe, the flanker, on the outside. Conversion attempt by Michael Caro coming up. Referees already started running the shot clock as well. So as I was stating earlier, thank you to our sponsors and our supporters as well online. And I stated earlier the service that St. John Ambulance and Emergency bring to us. They've been with the Pepsi CRU competition for a number of years now, supporting on and off the field. And the support to the community goes beyond the field as well. Conversion unsuccessful. We've got MBB Marlins leading MONI plus Nova now 5-0. We want to say thank you to our major sponsors as well: Pepsi, Pacific Industries, MONI plus, New Power, Kinect, TR7s. We've also got supporters through the Stanley PNG. Your support to the code as a whole has helped the competition grow from strength to strength over the years and be a shining light for the code. So straight from kickoff, MBB Marlins have opted to spread it wide. They've shown their hands. Good interchange of passing. There's an advantage play there, yeah. Good call by the referee. Player safety first. Defense getting lazy. You can see that. And now MBB Marlins are deep inside the Nova. Okay. There's a knock-on being called here as per the referee's interpretation. Let's see how this scrum pans out. Both clubs have got pretty good players off the bench as well. They've got youth coming off the bench. It's an important match for both teams. MBB Marlins want to consolidate the spot at second place. MONI plus Nova pushing for their first win after two very narrow losses. It's early days, but the letter's got everything to say about it as well. There's a knock-on called here by the referee. So Nova have now lost two of the last feeds. They're gonna have to really lock down on that as well. You can see some continuity here that's being allowed by the referee. He's had to call that up because there was no advantage to the attacking team. Both sides have really good players as well backing up from the Spot Stock 7s and the 7 seasons. So Jared Maniana with the ball now. He's opted to go high and long. And Michael Caro with the step. He's taking it in past the 10 meter of the Nova half. And straight away MBB Marlins have opted to go wide. They've exploited that space and they've gone deep into the 22. There's a knock on there. So ball securities become somewhat of an issue with MBB Marlins. Referees called a knock on there. We've got a player down. Hang on. It just may be reviewed by the referee and the assistant referee, the touch judge. Referees relocated it. Yeah, as I was stating earlier, we want to say thank you to the sponsors as well for the clubs, each respective clubs. There's a few new sponsors for the clubs. THEODIST with this match here, THEODIST have stuck with MBB Marlins. They're pleased to see what's happening on that side, and MONI Plus as well have stuck with Nova. They've been the major sponsor for Nova for the past 8 years. And besides the competition, MONI Plus also has been really influential in the junior grades thriving, especially under 20 and your under 23 divisions. New power have come back on board with the support to the CRU Open Women's and under 20 division, under 20 girls division as well. So it's a loose head and feed, good scrum, good control by MBB Marlins. And they've decided to go up the middle now rather than go wide. Good contest, and referees called it. He's actually penalized. Let's just wait for his secondary signals. He's penalized MONI Plus Nova. It was a good challenge, but he didn't hold his weight. So when you're challenging or jackling in rugby, you're supposed to hold your weight. There's a penalty that's been given to MONI Plus Nova and a quick tap option taken by the back row Robert. The referee's called offside here, so he's played advantage. And it now seems that MONI Plus Nova have decided to settle it down, go for the long game. Adrenaline's kicked in. You can see both teams shifting to third gear. But it's going to come down to the team that sticks to their game plan the longest. There's an injury back play. Yeah, it's going to stick to the team that sticks to the... it's going to come down to the team that sticks to the game plan the longest. Humidity level in Port Moresby hasn't been the best in recent times. El Nino's kicking in. I read on the internet earlier this week that we should be bracing for a really long El Nino, or probably the longest, and it's going to be coming our way. So yeah, as stated earlier, if you're going to the markets or going to the shops, if you're heading out with your family and your friends, besides the sugar and the carbonated drinks, make sure you stock up on Pacific Industries pure water. Injury back play has forced another substitution, so MBB Marlins will have to make a play and make the second interchange, second substitution. Both substitutions this half, the first half, have been through injury. One through HIA and the other one's been escorted off. It seems It's a lower limb injury. Clean line out, good chase right through by MBB Marlins. Ball in hand with Jared Maniana. He's kicked and it's a 50-22. What a kick. Well done, Jared Maniana. So both 10s showing they can kick besides managing general play as well. There's been a 50-22 awarded to MBB Marlins, and now MONI plus Nova have responded with one of their own. It's a slow start to the game. But both teams are slowly picking up, as is expected, now that adrenaline's kicked in. They've found the second wind. Now it's going to come down to patience. It's been called back. The scrum and feed to MBB Marlins. You've got Nova's backline set as well in D. They've compressed it. Now it's interesting to see what MBB Marlins do with this ball. That's that unpredictability about Michael Carroll. And now that you've got Nicky Ora in the side, you can see now they've both opted to exploit it, but the gap was closed quickly by the cover defense from Nova, MONI plus Nova flanker. There's a challenge here, and successful challenge. Referees allowed the quick tap and play. Nova's taking it deep into the 5. It's going to come down to quick recycle, and they do. They've shifted the ball. Now it's just coming down to ball security. Over the horizontal. And referees allowed the quick play. Michael Cross opted for the kick. The kick's covered by Nova fullback Todam Dampen. Good kick and chase. And they've shifted the ball. Forward pass. It was a mile forward. So the Nova winger didn't get back on side. Nova have squandered the opportunity deep inside the Marlins half. So loose head and feed to MBB Marlins. We're nearing the last 15 minutes of this match. Sorry, this half. Let's see how Nova's scrum holds up. Yes, and that's a really good call by the referee. As I stated earlier, player safety is paramount. And MBB Marlins prop didn't have a long bind. Nova have opted to go with the wide play. Ball in hand now with Willie Kalai. He's taking it down. Referee's clamping down. There was a high, not so much a high tackle, but there was contact around the neck area. Nova's gone safe. They've gone with the tap and the tip-on from the set piece. And player's been held up. It's a good line by the Nova forward, Steven Yawave, but he was held up. His knees need to hit the ground or get into contact with the ground, just so the referee can allow the ruck to form. MBB Marlins did a good job here with holding him up. A big fellow, but you can see the strength with holding him up. It was a concerted effort by the forward pack. Loose head and feed to the MBB Marlins. And they've got a split back line on either side. So Michael Carroll has already played his hand. It's going to be an attacking kick, or they're going to put it through the hands. And they decided to go with the kick option. For the 50-22, although it's bouncing, and if it does hold up, and it does hold up. That was a really, really good chase. So kicked in goal. Now the advantage is to MBB Marlins. So Nova cover defense had to make a quick play for that. It was a really good chase by MBB Marlins. You can see now that MBB Marlins are playing their hand. They look the side that's a lot more hungrier than Nova. After some consultation there, referees called it to the 22 for a clearance kick. And with the rugby clearance kick, it doesn't need to go 10 meters. That's the reason why you've got the MBB Marlins players standing right in front of the Nova 5'8", Jared Maniana. He's opting to go long here, and he does, although it's a hanging one. Very poor chase from Nova. Good contact here. They've lost the ball forward. Referees allowed it to play on. He said there's no advantage here. Good contact, good run here. Now what they're going to need to do is get that ball out really fast. It's a good challenge by MBB Marlins, although they challenge to the side. And that's the reason for the penalty being awarded to Nova. You'll need to come through the gates. So the Nova winger did very well by making the gates smaller with a longer place. Jared Maniana's opted to go for the line. We're just outside the 22 here. And it's a case of now or never for MONI plus Nova on this side of the half. Score still locked at 5-0. MBB Marlins leading. MONI plus Nova slow to get to the line. THEODIST MBB Marlins already set up. It's going to come down to patience right now and sticking to the game plan for MONI plus Nova. For MBB Marlins, they're just going to have to be patient. Referees call that. It didn't go straight for the first 5 meters. He's called a scrum. So Nova hooker hasn't had the best of luck. He's going to have to go back and practice his throwing skills. He's an accomplished hooker at the lower grades. Now he's just got to show his worth, if I may, in the senior grade. We're expecting halftime anytime soon. And MONI plus Nova outside backs are going to have to prepare for a kick. THEODIST MBB Marlins halves have and inside backs have picked up that with a good long kick and good chase, they can put the pressure back on the Nova forward pack. So loose head and feed to THEODIST MBB Marlins. and they've opted to go with the short side play. There's good contact. And we're seeing our first yellow card for the match. And it's good to see that come from the referee. He needs to clamp down. There's been more than 5 seatbelt or high contact in the tackles. And right on halftime, MBB Marlins have kicked down to the 10-meter mark, or the 40-meter mark, if I may, for those of you at home. Slow start to the game, but you can see MBB Marlins pick up the pace of the game. And they're going for number 1 as well. Lock on being called, and the referees call halftime this time. Game's getting scrappy. Both teams need to get back to the drawing board. But thank you one and all for logging in. We're going for a 10-minute break. Both coaches will have a lot to talk about. For me, personally, if I was the THEODIST MBB Marlins coach, I'd be talking about the tenacity and consistency. With Nova, their coach will have to tell them to get back to the drawing board and stick to their game plan. You can see there's mismatches across the park, but they're pushing the passes. So thank you one and all. We'll see you all back online in the next 10 minutes.
Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but met it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring the groove down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring the groove down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At MONI Plus, we believe that every small business deserves the chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With MONI Plus we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari belong you. Step in to feel the difference. SME loan, MONI Plus.
Pepsi bottle. Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but met it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring the groove down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring the groove down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At MONI Plus, we believe that every small business deserves the chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With MONI Plus we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari belong you. Step in to feel the difference. SME loan, MONI Plus.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You me holding man no walk one time, giving wings to our dream. That it's so on high in the sky. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With MONI Plus we're ready to go. It's our chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. Let's be part of something wonderful. Strong in life, belong in me. Stretch him, sing down, belong all family. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With MONI Plus we're ready to go. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible. We dare to believe. Oh, 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 oh. With MONI Plus we're ready to go.
Pepsi bottle. Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but met it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring the groove down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring the groove down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At MONI Plus, we believe that every small business deserves a chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Now chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With MONI Plus we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari belong you. Step in to feel the difference. SME loan, MONI Plus.
And welcome back to the second half of the first live streamed match for the Pepsi Capital Rugby Union match for our Premier Grade. Here we've got MBB Marlins, THEODIST MBB Marlins running from left to right in the red. We've got MONI Plus Nova running from right to left. You should see a really fast game. It's going to open up now, as we stated earlier. Adrenaline is kicked in, and yeah, they've played their hand. They've gone wide. They're exploiting the space out wide. Poor chase from MONI Plus Nova there. Nikiora slowing it down. It's a very good carry. Very good carry, actually. There's a 25-meter carry. And Michael Carroll's already opted his hand with a 50-22 attempt. And it is the second of the match. His second of the match. The third 50-20-22, successful 50-20-22 of the match. And the second one from Michael Carroll. So Michael Carroll 1, Michael Carroll 2, Jared Maniana 1. Evenly contested match. Experienced hands in both sides, with a mixture of youth that have come through their own ranks. And line out won by Kingsley Gegeo of MONI Plus Nova. Good challenge by Pepe. And Nova have decided to go wide and exploit the space between the centers. They've taken it right to the 40, and Jared's attempting a 50-22. Michael Carroll was there to receive it. Referees called it back. So ill discipline, giving off the first penalty for the match. Offside by THEODIST MBB Marlins. Jared Maniana with his big boot, looking for the line, and he finds touch right on the 30-meter mark. So both teams fighting for the win here. THEODIST MBB Marlins attempting to stay in that second position that they currently hold, while MONI Plus Nova, who have come off two very close losses, one against SGI TSI Valley Hunters last week, are looking for their first win as well. It's only round 3, but you should expect this game to fire up in the next 20 minutes. So call from the assistant ref here is that the lineout's not straight. Referee's calling up a scrum just outside the 15. On the 30-meter mark, just outside the 15-meter mark of the lineout zone. This is the first scrum of the second half. So it'll be interesting to see how both hold up. It's a good scrum. And MBB Marlins have opted to go wide. There was a knock on there. Referee's playing an advantage as well. Actually not an advantage. It was a knockdown by Junior Ray. Good carry by Kingsley Gegeo. You should see a really good hit out between both number 7s. Isolated carry, good support coming in. Very good discipline by MBB Marlins with the defense, with setting the defensive line. Good challenge as well. They slowed down the play. Advantage being played, offside. There may have been an offside that we missed. Both sides have done changes in the backlines. So you can see that they're going to be exploiting the space out wide. Nova with the tip on straight off the tap. Isolated carry, and as is expected, a very good jackal there. Michael Caro has gone with a quick tap. Referees called it back. It can be frustrating sometimes for both spectators and more so the players. But the referee interprets and can call back if he decides to. MBB Marlins have gone with the tap. There's a knock on there. It's early days in the second half. And an out of character mistake by Michael Caro. He's a real joy to watch, this fellow, Michael Caro. Personally, I'm a big fan of him, of his. He's grown from strength to strength. His game knowledge is showing through with what he's got to offer the competition. It's going to be now up to Jared Maniana to step up to the challenge. Second scrum of the game, loose head and feed to MONI plus Nova. Let's see how the scrum holds up. And it seems they're one player down. They've got their player still in the sin bin. He's got about 5 minutes left. So they're going to have to make do with packing that scrum one man down. It'll be interesting to see what Jared Maniana does with this, whether they go straight up the middle or go to the side. Good drive, ball needs to come out. Referee's interpretation of this is that penalty goes to Nova, even though they drove it back. The flanker needs to be bound, and Jared Maniana has decided to go wide with a big carry from Junior Ray and a wayward pass. There's an element to a rush play here. And as I stated earlier in the match and in the first half, it's the team that sticks to their game plan and composure the longest that wins the game. Shotman line out once again, opted by Marlins. It's a tap back. Play on from the referee. Ball's out in play. And they're shifting the ball. They're shifting the ball wide. It's a good contact. Referee's playing advantage. And they're pushing wide. There's space out wide. Let's see them. Oh, that was a forward pass call there by the assistant referee to the referee. So loose head and feed to Nova for that forward pass. There's still one man down. Yellow card hasn't returned to the field yet. They'll need to get that ball out rather urgently. And referee's given and awarded the penalty to THEODIST MBB Marlins, and that's because of the bind from the prop. So MBB Marlins setting up the pod. You can see Michael Carroll sitting in the pocket of the second pod. You should see that right now. So I'm expecting... Oh, now there's a turnover there. Quick tap taken by MONI plus Nova. There was shoulder contact there. No wraparound, dangerous tackle. And we've got hands coming to the sin bin. So we've got an exchange of players here. Nova's yellow card going back on and THEODIST MBB Marlins player coming off. MONI plus Nova will have to capitalize on this, given MBB Marlins a one-man shot in the forward pack. There's a really good kick there. Nova aren't retreating. They're taking their time. And that's a very, very good counter-rack by MBB Marlins. Well-deserved penalty. You can see Nova slowly moving across. In the end, it might cost them the game. There's no urgency. Very low energy as well. And MBB Marlins, there was a forward pass there, but referees played advantage. There was an offside there. And the options are there for the boys. The boys in red have opted to go with the scrum. Both teams taking the time to pack the scrum. And you're allowed to sub a front row, and that's what THEODIST MBB Marlins have done, and that's the complement. So they have a full man scrum. Safety first, and according to IRB rules, you're allowed to use that sub, given it's a specialized position. So your front row is pretty much a specialized positions in rugby. And it's paid dividends for the changes with Nicky Ora scoring a try. So well done. It's paid dividends. The decision to have a fully complemented forward pack has paid off now. Michael Carroll stepping up for the kick. The current score is 10-0 in favor of THEODIST MBB Marlins. And Magic Mike Carroll stepping up to convert the try. And it's gone wide. Although it does look like it went in. But we leave that for the assistant referees to make that call. Score remains THEODIST MBB Marlins on 10 points, leading MONI Plus Nova on 0. So Nova will just have to get back to basics now and just exercise some patience. So deep kickoff. And they've shifted it really quickly. That's a really good defense and good hit by Mr. Willie Napkai. And MBB Marlins have opted to go with a kick. Kick fielded by Richard from MONI Plus Nova. THEODIST MBB Marlins holding up. It's a very good attempt by the Marlins guys, but referees call it up because there was contact around the neck, as you can see with his secondary signals. And Nova have gone back to basics with cutting it straight up the middle. We've got a yellow card here, referees making his stance known. And MBB Marlins captain questioning that decision. Referee has advised his interpretation. So we're playing on. You can see they've got MONI Plus Nova have got pods set on either side of the ruck. Sorry, the tap the ball area. Another strong carry by Kingsley Gegeo. Good challenge by MBB Marlins, but that has left a hole in the middle of the ruck, or the gates area. Nova have knuckle down and need to be patient here. I can't see the referee's hand signals from here. His secondary signals, it looks like there's been a knock on. Yeah, and he's given the advantage and loose head and feet to MBB Marlins. So it just came down to patience. Nova need to be very conservative as well, whilst exploiting the different chances across the park. And from the outset, you can see that their defense around the ruck area is really good. So Nova just needs to think of that tip on to engage that full 10, 20, 30. Sorry, your pillar post and your lead man. Safe to say Michael Carroll is going to be going for a big kick. Actually, no. He's opted for the other option. Referees interpreted that as a knockback and quick play the ball. MBB Marlins captain questioning the decision. I would have thought that was a play on. There's a deliberate knock-on. He's awarding it to MONI plus Nova, so I'd say that's a deliberate knock-on attempted by MBB Marlins, and that's as per how the referees interpreted it. So with rugby, your loose head and feet's always on the left-hand side, where your loose head prop is. MONI plus Nova will have to make use of their opportunities now. And it's just going to come down to patience. Magic Mike Caro is all over Jared Paddy Maniana right now. Yellow card returning. So they're back to a fully complemented side. It's safe to say Nova have lost that window or that opportunity to capitalize on any chances that may have been. They've gone the short side with Samuel Larry, who's known for his strong ball running prowess, and he scored Nova's first try of the match. It's come almost 20 minutes or 60, almost on the hour mark, so there's a little over 20 minutes left. But it's good to see that they identified that space, and it's going to come down to patience now. Score right now is MONI plus Nova on 5 points, and THEODIST MBB Marlins leading on 10. CRU wants to say thank you as well to the major sponsors who have come back on board. Pacific Industries, Pepsi, New Power for the CRUW, and MONI Plus for the junior programs. We've also got support from Kinak, TR7s, and the Stanley Hotel PNG, Stanley Hotel and Suites PNG. And the kick is unsuccessful, conversion kick unsuccessful. That leaves the score at THEODIST MBB Marlins on 10, leading MONI plus Nova on 5. And as we stated earlier, it's going to come down to the energy that either of these teams bring. Michael Caro with a really good kick there. It's high, contested, and there's been a knock-on by MONI plus Nova. There's another knock-on by MBB Marlins. So referee's calling off advantage, and he's calling a scrum inside the Nova half. You've got some tired bodies out there, and you can see it with the soft skills. They're struggling to hold on to the ball. You got tired bodies walking over to the scrums. And THEODIST MBB Marlins have a very compressed, deep backline. As I stated earlier, they're known for their pullbacks and second phase play. And that just may happen now. Nova are reacting as well with the defense. So it's a one-on-one here, and poor read by Willie Napkai. Another poor read there. Advantage being played by referee here. And MBB Marlins have relinquished that advantage that was given by the referee. So the interpretation would have been they've gone 10 meters lateral and 10 meters direct as well. That's the reason why he called it off. He's called a knockback here by Marlins, MBB Marlins. And there was a no arms. We're expecting a yellow here. Player safety is important. That was a good read though. Good read though by Willie Napkai, who came in to shut down any promotion of the ball further wide. So there's a yellow card, and that was for no arms. We've got very tired bodies there. And an injury concern by Matthew Ano. So long arm penalty, Magic Mike Caro. He's already looking to the corners. He's opted for the tap kick. That's been fielded by MONI plus Nova. Very good kick. Very good kick return as well. Good chase. And that went forward. The intensity here is picking up. You can see energy levels rise. And MBB Marlins have responded with putting the heavies on. So master play by coach Raholi Bokwik. And it seems they're making the play at the set pieces now. Referees held play. There's a yellow card return as well. So the game's been marred by four yellow cards already. Intensity is lifting as well for both sides. Both sides are aware of what's at stake here. One's fighting from the bottom of the ladder, one's fighting to hold the top of the ladder. Nova have compressed. There's an infringement at the scrums. And the referees penalized skipper Bruce Kilalang for succumbing to the pressure with his knee touching the ground. It's no easy feat though, sitting in that forward pack. And it's a quick tap and play by Nova. Player not rolling away. A quick tap taken by Jared Maniana. Let's see what Nova have to offer here. They recycle the ball. It's a one-off. Referees called it up. That's another high tackle and another yellow card. So referees made his stance down. He's stamping his authority on the game. And they've gone straight out the back. And straighten up. The ball's with Juxray now. Let's see what he can do with it. he does command a little bit of respect. And there's been a knock on. Nothing's going right now for MONI plus Nova. You could say it's because they're pushing the plays. It's just unscripted. They're rushing the plays. And as we stated earlier, it's just the team that sticks to their game plan the longest gets to experience some short-term and long-term success. We've gone into our last 15 minutes of the match. So it's going to come down to who sticks to that game plan and also patience. Right now, Nova are one man down. The outside center is spending some time in the sin bin. So is MBB Marlins. So we should expect a strong challenge here from MONI plus Nova on the scrum. Referees recall the scrum. Clean ball from the halfback, and Michael Caro has failed to find the line. Let's see what Nova backline can produce here. It's a very good, decisive, strong run by the fullback. Good fight at the ruck. Good recycling, although isolated. That was a good call by the referee to let that go. He really wasn't above the horizontal, so it's good to see some continuity here, following the yellow cards that we've seen recently. There's an infringement in the ruck area. So let's see what MONI plus Nova can do with this gifted possession. They're holding the mini conference. There's some arguments on what they should do from here on in. You can see they've stacked onto one side. The forwards have stacked onto one side. They've made space on the outside. Another isolated run. And very good challenge there. That's a very, very good challenge. MONI plus Nova have just gotten very lazy. One of the very basic fundamentals of rugby is running with support. There's a quick tap and clearance kick by Michael Caro. That's okay. He kicked from within the 22. So you can see you can see the body language. Marlins winding down the clock, but walking to the line out with energy. MONI plus Nova in some sort of distress, if I may. Marlins have decided to go with the shotman defensive lineout. The referees allowed that to play on. A wayward pass there. Too much lateral running. And the ball's out. So Jared Manian has gone for a 50-22. His kick will be as good as the chase. And he's managed to take it out. So good pressure there. Good pressure leading to a clearance kick that didn't go too far. Now it's going to come down to what Nova do with the possession that they have now. Clock's quickly running out. But 2 minutes is a lot of time. I'm not saying there's 2 minutes left on the clock. 2 minutes in rugby or in any contact team sport is a lot of time. This is Nova's opportunity to either level up the scores with a try or get ahead for the first time in the game with a conversion of the try. Referee doing some schooling here with the front rows. It's anyone's guess, but it'd have to be with Boring and the binding. He's okay with that. They're gonna have to maintain that. And you can see the shove from MBB Marlins. And a very, very premature decision by the Nova halfback to take the ball to the sideline. It's a good energy from MBB Marlins, good awareness as well. This game's coming down to the wire. As expected. Both teams have a lot of history as well. Over recent years. MBB Marlins with a long line out. A bit scrappy, although very poor decision making by the Nova outside back, which now puts his team under pressure. So you can see THEODIST MBB Marlins taking the time. There's energy there, you can see it with the body language, but they're just killing the clock. And they've opted for number 1. Referee's playing advantage, and that would be the offside from the from the line out. And there's a quick tap. Referee's played advantage and he's called a offside there. Decisive play down the short side. And let's see if MBB Marlins can close this game off. They've gone into the pods and formation with the 1-3-3-1. They're hitting center field with the first pod. It's settled down and good pilfer. There's a quick tap and they're using the space, they're kicking down. That kick is going to be as good as its chase. So it's a good chase. And MBB Marlins have found space on the outside. You got a lot of tired bodies out there. But the energy is right now with THEODIST MBB Marlins, who actually make a break down the sideline, and there's some contact there. Referee doesn't see any concern with that. And there's a knock on there. So it's safe to say this would be Nova's last chance at equalizing or taking this game. To take this game, they're going to have to convert that try if they do score a try. Let's see if this Nova scrum can hold it. The scrum's underway. You got to pick and go. Let's see what the call is here. THEODIST MBB Marlins on 10 points, leading MONI plus Nova on 5 points. It's hard to see what the referee's secondary signals are, but he's calling the scrum again, and that was the full-time hooter right now. Let's see what Nova can conjure up here. They'll need to get that ball out quickly. And the referee's going to have to call that and give that penalty to MBB Marlins. And that's the end of the game. THEODIST MBB Marlins coming out winners and retaining their spot in the top 4. They beat MONI plus Nova 10 points to 5. So well done to Coach Rawali Bokoik and his lads from Gerehu. They've managed to hold off MONI plus Nova in what was somewhat a scrappy game. We want to say goodbye. On that note, we want to say goodbye and say thank you once again to our sponsors and our supporters. And we invite you back to this channel and Bava Park next Sunday for the main game. Thank you, and you all have a blessed week ahead. Thank you.